It's like Cruella de Vil's garage.
Well, don't fucking use it.
Look, dude. Stop being an idiot, man.
Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and do a Q&A. We don't have a lot going on right now. It's Christmas time, so we don't really feel like working on anything. Andrew is too lazy to work on his car. He's got some plugs and wires that he's had for about a month and he's not put in yet. So
Fake news, I've not had him for a month. Like
3 weeks, I'm sorry.
Two.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of Q&A. It's like I said, this is just perfect timing, perfect time of the year. Everything's kind of chilled and relaxed. So we're going to answer some of these questions. I posted something on Instagram if you guys didn't know about that. And it's been up for a couple hours, so we have some pretty good questions, I think. Got Andrew involved a little bit, so we'll just start from the top. We'll work our way down. And this is going to be very informal, as you can see. Having some drinks here, so who knows where this will go. I know there's one question in here that I do want to kind of talk about, so once we get to that, I'll elaborate a little bit more. So this may be a very long video. I don't know. Andrew, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So first question: Will you boost your Foxbody in the future? Well, it's funny you ask.
Yes.
Because yes, we are definitely going to boost the red car. Maybe not in 2019, but that was originally the plan, was to put an on-3 turbo kit on the red car. Now I don't want this to turn into the Terminator behind you here that you can't see. I don't want it to turn into that, but I think a nice little on-3 kit with a couple pounds of boost would be good. So we'll see what 2019 brings. So what's the quickest and fastest car you've owned, quarter mile, eighth mile? Well, we don't really run the quarter mile around here, so it's pretty much all eighth mile. Yeah. As far as track times go, it would probably be the Ventura that I had. I'll throw a picture up right here of the car. What that was a little 406 Chevrolet motor. Had Dart Iron Eagle heads on it. Just a nice little street engine. On motor, the car ran 690s in the eighth of a mile. You could drive it on the street. Pretty quick little car. Not fast by today's standards, but this was back in 05, 06. It was a pretty quick car. Nonetheless, that's been the quickest track car that I've owned.
Tried to spray it that one time.
Yeah, we did. We did spray it one time, and it went 680s. I was on and off the gas. It was a mess. We probably shouldn't have sprayed the car, but anyway, car did run 690s. It's not it wasn't the most powerful car that I've ever owned by any means, but the car just worked at the track, and it was very fast. Let's see. As far as probably the fastest car that I've ever owned would probably be the yellow one. Yellow Wolf, the car that we currently have right now, as far as probably the most power goes, and that car is absolutely brutal, hence the name. Not really any super fast cars, you know. We're more of a kind of into street cars. We do like a race car occasionally, but that's just not really my thing. How about you, Andrew?
I like watching other people spend money on race cars.
Yeah.
I love watching other people spend their money on, so I can watch them go fast, but I don't want to have a car I can't drive to the gas station.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with us, you know. We want to be able to take whatever car we own and drive it. I don't want to have to put it on a trailer and tow it and haul it and everything else. If it does go on a trailer, it's like my buddy Ben said, you know, it's a stretcher at that point. That's the only reason you bring a car on a trailer, is just in case it does tear up, you can throw it on there, but I prefer to drive them. Are you a fan of Terminator swaps in Foxbody Mustangs, or any other kinds of swaps for that matter?
No LS motors.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the LS swaps, guys. I don't really like that. As far as the new Coyotes go and whatnot in the Foxbody, sure, yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I know Caleb does a lot of that on Foxcast Media. Those are really nice cars, and I mean, you've really got the best of both worlds. You got a Foxbody, which I love the way they look, the way they ride, and the way they feel, but you have the technology of the newer engines. Make a lot of power, and they're very streetable. Reliable. What do you think, Andrew? What's probably your favorite swap for a Foxbody?
If I had a 93 Cobra, it'd be an 0304 swap. But a GT has to be a Coyote swap.
I agree. Yeah, Andrew just touched on something. I completely agree. I would love to do a Terminator swap in a Foxbody. That's just I don't know. To me, that's the best of both worlds in a sense. But I don't know if you guys have looked lately. But good luck trying to buy a fully ready-to-go Terminator motor and transmission.
Ridiculous.
They are ridiculous. And, you know, let's just be honest. Nowadays, the Coyotes will make as much power really maybe even more. So yeah, it's kind of pointless to go out and spend that kind of money just to get that supercharger whine when you really can do the same thing with the Coyote. You can throw a supercharger on it and get that whine out of it. But
0304s are just easier though because they already have blowers on them.
Exactly.
You just port the blowers.
Just port the blower.
And that ain't enough. Put a little nitrous on it.
That's right. Show us one picture of the best looking Foxbody in your eyes. If money wasn't a problem.
Not a 93 Cobra.
Well, and not a 93 Cobra. Well, there's actually, the car I have in mind is a 93 Cobra. Imagine that. It was one of the cars that I saw in Foxcast Media's video where he went to Foxtoberfest. Remember the teal one with the whaled wheels? I'm probably going to show that picture because that to me is...
Just one that races in Albany. It's just like a street trip car. I think his name on Instagram is like Real Teal or something like that. But he stick shift race that car.
Oh, I've seen that car. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, probably be a teal 93 Cobra, lower with the right wheels on it. I'll show you an example of one of the cars that I like. And as far as something else, something different than that, like my ideal Mustang would probably be a 79 Cobra. I'll just have to show you guys a picture of what I'm talking about, but that would probably be my second favorite Foxbody. Would be that. It's actually on LMR's homepage. It kind of flashes up occasionally. It popped up. I think I showed it to you, didn't I?
I think so.
It's a really good looking car. It's real retro looking. I'm kind of into that retro stuff, so I like that. Let's see. With the new Coyote platform taking over, where do you see the Foxbody in new age platforms 20 years from now?
Either bone stock and ridiculously expensive or modular motors. That's pretty much all that's going to be left.
Pretty much.
By that time, Coyote motors will be cheap.
Yeah.
And they'll be the new LS.
That's right. And, you know, it's hard to say really. It all depends on this generation right here on what they're going to do with these cars, how they're going to take care of them. I think Foxbodies are getting hot right now, and you know what happens if you get too popular too quick. And I'm kind of wondering if the Foxbody isn't almost taking off too quickly, in a sense. Now, I've noticed a lot of YouTubers starting, Foxbody channels and talking about Foxbodies, and they're just becoming really popular. Than last year with the Barrett Jackson stuff. I don't know, guys. I don't know, but all I know is what I'm going to do in 20 years from now. If I'm still living, and I'm going to have a Foxbody, and Andrew probably will too. So.
I just 2 of them because I refuse to sell anything.
Yeah, he'll have at least 2 of them because he don't sell anything. But I see a lot of swaps, like Andrew mentioned. There'll be a lot of swaps, in the future and whatnot. I think the SN platform will be the next car to become popular and take over. What's your favorite Mustang?
It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I think I just had to pick one.
I guess you mean platforms or specific Mustangs.
I think it means specific Mustangs.
Specifically, my favorite. I'm not going to pick what you think I'm going to pick, by the way.
Like a teal 93 Cobra that's way up there. It's like,
yeah,
if it's not number
hard.
1, it's number 2.
Yeah.
But I also like the old Mach 1s.
I'll probably say the 0304 Cobra. If not, a 93 Cobra. I'd say 0304 Cobra for me, simply because I was there, obviously, for these cars whenever they come out. The impression that they made on everybody when they hit the scene. Badass cars, and yeah, that would probably be the car for me, the most impactful anyway. Besides that, maybe the older Mach 1s. Probably, I'm right there with Andrew on that. This is from Ultra Racing, by the way. So this is our buddy that's going to supply us with some parts for the blue car. So Andrew, when are we going to start doctoring up the coupe? Yeah, I'm curious about that myself, Andrew.
I ain't doing much to it. I don't know, I've been looking at Turbo Kid. but I need another project car like I need a hole in my head.
Exactly. I don't think Andrew's going to do a lot to the coupe. I hope he's not anyway.
Paint it.
We are going to paint the car.
Definitely putting 5-speed in it. Automatic, don't have a snowball's chance in it.
Yeah. So
I keep it for now just because it works. And I mean, I don't have to work on it or nothing. It's got a brand new rebuilt transmission, but eventually getting T5 is definitely. Unless I can ever get my hand on some Trip Flow 11Rs.
Yeah. So if anybody's got anything really cheap.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on. What Foxbody platform 87 to 93 will appreciate more in your opinion, notchbacks or hatchbacks? Hatchbacks. I'm going to surprise you guys right now. I think it's going to be the hatchbacks. I think it's going to be the GTs. For many different reasons. It's like we talked about earlier. The coupes have been so hot for so long. I think at some point they're going to fade out. Remember, guys, I'm not hating on coupes at all. Really, the GTs were where it was at back in the day, and just kind of faded out with time because they are very dated. When you look at a GT, the ground effects, the two-tone stuff, it dates these cars. But at the same time, that's what's going to bring them back into popularity, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think it's going to be the GTs, honestly.
I think it'll be the hatchbacks because eventually they're lighter, so eventually everyone's gonna go to mountain tournament and race cars. And
the hatchbacks?
I mean the notches.
Notches are already the most popular.
Yeah, but I don't see that changing.
For the second reason I say that is because, you know, the ground effects on those cars go to shit over time. They deteriorate and they're all bent up and warped up, so a lot of them aren't any good anymore. They don't look any good. So to find a GT with straight ground effects and it just looks good, you're going to pay more money for that car, and they're getting more rare. A coupe had no really body panels to come apart, you know, and to warp up. So the coupes are pretty much just generally more straight. So what's out there is going to be more of a straighter car. All right, when are you going to replace your clutch in your Fox?
Never.
So a while back, you guys probably remember me talking about the clutch was slipping in the car and whatnot. What it was the clutch cable, actually. I guess it stiffened up. I don't know. The car sat for a while, so it just kind of felt like it was dragging a little bit. Now everything's fine. You can snatch gears in it, no problem. But I would probably say next year, 2019, we'll probably swap the clutch out in the car. So we'll see how that goes. We'll get to that at some point, but that's not really a pressing issue right now. The car does fine. Do you plan on doing a different intake on the Foxes? I mean, if I do, it's because I got a good deal on it. Maybe like a Cobra intake, or
if I could find like I don't remember what they're called, but they call them those Trick Flow R like red box intakes or whatever.
Yeah, those are really good.
For I think for a turbo car, and you can find one of them pretty cheap. I'd buy some.
But honestly, if you're going to stay naturally aspirated, those intakes really don't make a lot of a difference nowadays. Back in the day, the reason why people would change intakes out obviously is because everything was on an equal playing field pretty much. So you could gain some ground on your buddy if you had an upper and lower intake and he didn't. Nowadays, come on, guys.
Upper and lower intake can make you outrun a coyote.
It's just not. I mean, you know, you're talking 10 horsepower, something like that, 15 horsepower. It's just not going to be a deciding factor. So, not unless I find a really good deal. We'll just leave it at that. When are you going to fix the oil leaks on your car? I've been waiting. Yeah, put me out on blast there. So when am I going to fix the oil leaks? You know what? I don't know. And that's just out of pure laziness. I have not got under there and fixed that. It's not a super hard job, but at the same time, I'm kind of torn because I feel pretty sure that the rear main seal is leaking a little bit on the car. So I really hate to get under there and do all this and not fix the rear main seal, which leads to the whole clutch issue. If I do the rear main seal, I really need to replace the clutch. So I don't know. It needs to be fixed because it's starting to mess up my driveway pretty bad now. So we need to get that addressed. 2019, there you go.
When are the shirts dropping?
When are the shirts dropping? Yeah, I'll let you read. Did you see that look he just gave me?
Why I gotta read, man?
Well, I mean, you got it right there. It makes sense. When are the shirts dropping? I don't know. I don't know when the shirts are going to drop. I kind of want to stay away from that right now because we don't have a lot of time, honestly. And shirts, as far as like us getting the shirts made and shipping them out and everything, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. I don't have time for it. I've got a big family and we're always doing something, and it's just the way it works. If we do shirts, more than likely we'll do some sort of a drop ship. I know somebody mentioned a company to stay away from, and I haven't done my research on it completely yet, but we'll look into that. I plan, once again, to probably do that in 2019 at some point. I know I keep saying that, but you know, we've had some big things planned for the channel for next year. Not everything's going to happen. We're still going to take things slow, but yeah, probably 2019. All right, what's up next?
Cullen said thoughts on best HCI builds, and will you have a booth at Mustang Week for Fox Oktoberfest?
Our buddy Cullen. Cullen Bell. Slowpoke. Best head cam intake setup.
Depends on what it's on.
Yeah, it's
If it's like
he knows how to bring up a good debate, and you can debate and argue this all day.
I personally am a huge fan of the 11Rs, and my Victor Jr. intake makes great power.
Yeah,
and
wow. You're talking expensive stuff.
Well, he didn't say cheap.
I
He
know.
said about cheap. He said the best. And cam, I don't know.
Custom ground.
Yeah, I mean
Anderson.
custom ground. Yeah, but maybe like Anderson. Or
Yeah, Anderson
Doug
cam
Herbert.
probably. For me, I'm gonna go budget with you guys, and I want to tell you why I picked this setup right here. It's because it goes right back to what we were just talking about, with it not really being that big of a deal. You know, you can buy the best heads, the best intake, the best cam, and you're still not going to make some obscene amount of horsepower. So rather than spending thousands of dollars, I'd say we can stay under $1,000. So the GT40 heads off of an Explorer, one of the Motorsport cams, but you can go custom ground for just a little bit more. They're not that expensive. Actually, you know what?
As long as you don't go bullet.
Yeah,
Like
as long as you don't go
$700.
bullet. I tell you what, this would be my setup. A used Alphabet cam, a set of GT40 heads, and whatever aftermarket intake you can get your hands on that's pretty cheap, because they're all going to make within probably
15, 20 horsepower.
yeah, 15, 20 horsepower. So whatever, guys. Hell, put an Explorer intake on your car. If you can find a wrecked Explorer or something out of the junkyard, go that route.
Bought my long block for $100.
See, there you go. You can do that. Or if you really want to change it up, I would say an Anderson cam. They're not outrageous, and they are really good. Depends on your setup as to which one to go with, but Anderson cams are really good. I know a lot of guys are going to hate on me for the Alphabet cam. The only reason we do the Alphabet cam is kind of like out of tradition. We like the sound. They're easy to come by. Pop it in. You got some sound. We're not doing it for horsepower, guys. Next.
What are my plans for the silver car?
What is Andrew's plan for the silver car?
Kind of covered that
Tell
already.
us,
but
Andrew.
And paint it. Put a real nice set of wheels on it.
Some 24s.
Absolutely not. And probably put a set of 355s in it. Maybe 373s.
And drive it, right?
And yeah, I mean pretty much just drive it. As long as I can. As long as I don't get enough money up to buy a turbo kit, I'll be alright. But if I ever get enough money up to buy that, I can't say I'll be able to stop myself.
Yeah, well, that's probably going to happen, I got a feeling.
When am I going to put a man pedal in my Notch?
It's coming,
Soon.
actually. It's coming. We just talked
Soon.
about that. So.
I still have everything to swap it out of the black car except for the transmission itself. I have everything. Yeah, if anybody around, South Alabama, I guess, has a T5, I'll buy it. As long as
A
it's-
working T5.
Oh yeah, a working T5. Not
Yeah,
one that needs rebuilding. I
we
got
don't
one
want
of them.
these- Yeah, we got some of those, but a good T5, let us know.
What, in your opinion, is the favorite / best mods for the Foxbody platform?
Oh,
Nitrous.
yeah, nitrous really, like Andrew said.
It's so easy.
Honestly, it's easy, and
Long as-
if you've got a mass air car, pop it in
As
and
long as
go,
you pull
man.
enough time and have enough fuel, you'll be alright.
Yeah. Subframe connectors, which I don't have. Gears.
I have and never put them on.
Yeah, gears, exhaust, just stuff like that. Your normal stuff. I don't really have any favorites with that.
And what are your favorite wheels for a GT hatch?
All right, so I'm not going to be able to go into detail, but what I'll do here is I'll tell you the wheels, and then I'll let you know that we will kind of cover this in another video coming up here pretty soon. My favorite wheels for the GTs and for the hatches, pretty much any of the Fox bodies, in my opinion, are the anniversary wheels, the wheels that I have on my car right now. Those are pretty much my favorite wheels. And there's a story behind that. Andrew knows a little bit about it. He was a little younger whenever all this happened, but I think he remembers. I had a hand in kind of helping get those made. It's kind of, I don't want to take any credit necessarily for it, but what that does, I just have a strong kind of bond to these wheels, and I'll cover that later in another video for you guys.
Said, now that I have two Foxbodies, which one do I like more? Black car, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And are they both auto, or is the GT a 5-speed? Does he have any plans for the Notch 5-speed swap, maybe? Yeah, the black car's an auto. Regretfully, I'm not a fan of it at all. Sore subject.
We thought that he would eventually kind of grow to like that, but he's
I was
really
hoping
not.
I
So
would.
yeah.
It's the converter, pretty much. If I had, maybe when I get a decent converter in it, or figure out what's going on with that one, then I'll like it better. But
Yeah.
for now, yeah, I hate it. It's garbage.
What we got?
What are some of the big car events you try to make it to?
So Foxtoberfest is obviously one of the events that I'm going to try to make it to. I do have some info with that. We will talk about later in another video. But Foxtoberfest, I think Pitts, maybe. I don't think we're going to be able to make that though, because it's right around the corner, isn't it?
What from Pitts?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never found it.
I think it's coming up in the spring. So as of right now, possibly Mustang Week and Foxtoberfest. That's probably where we will be in 2019.
Rather go to Foxtoberfest though.
Yeah.
And it says rarest color for Foxes. What year did the T-tops end? What were all the options for Foxes? When did Max Air start?
Oh, you tested me here. I see
Yeah.
what this is. This is a test. So the rarest color, I don't really know. I know the crystal blue was pretty rare. Vanini blue,
There wasn't a
reef
lot of
blue.
Calypso.
Yeah, Calypso. The yellow actually was very rare. Yeah, I don't know, guys, on that one.
What year did T-tops end?
With that 87 and 93 platform, whenever that come out, that body style come out, they actually still produced some with T-tops in 87. 88, as far as I know, there were no T-tops made in 88.
What were all the options?
What were all the options? Wow, I don't think there were a lot of options with these cars, to be completely honest. Obviously the sunroofs and armrest deletes and stuff like that. Really, there were no options for these cars for the most part. You just all the GTs had the Tweed Deluxe upgraded interior, so all the GTs had that. You could also get a coupe, a 5.0 coupe or LX with the basic interior, with the non-Tweed interior, which was horrible in my opinion. But
I agree.
a lot of the state patrol cars and stuff like that, the SSP cars, didn't have the Tweed interior and stuff. Other than that, there really weren't any options to speak of. You could choose your rear end gearing if you were going to order the car. Choose the stripe, choose the two-tone, sunroof, armrest. That was really about it, guys, in your interior color.
Why Foxbodies?
Why Foxbodies? Why not would be my question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guys, a lot of times you can't explain stuff, and I really can't explain my love and my passion for Foxbodies. I can tell you where some of it comes from for sure. I think a lot of it probably has to do with my age. I remember these cars as a teenager, driving around, and they were just a hot thing at the time. The styling just appeals to me. It's a nostalgic thing because my parents, they had Foxbodies and stuff growing up. I can probably show you a couple pictures right now. I don't know. It's just they just appeal to me. I really don't. I can't pinpoint one or two things. It's just awesome. I like the third gen Camaros when they're done right. So it's that time frame. It's that era. I think for me. So
what do you think the best exhaust is for a Fox?
Best exhaust for a Foxbody.
I'm not going to go cliche and say Flowmasters.
Flowmasters. And like I said, guys, a lot of what we say is not based off performance when it comes to these cars. You can go out and spend a lot of money if you want to on exhaust, and it's not really going to make any difference on these cars as far as horsepower goes in stock configuration. Sure, once you start building big horsepower, you got to have a free-flowing exhaust. At that point, free-flowing exhaust was your favorite, probably. I would say the Dynamax race bullets or something like that on these cars.
That's the only ones I've ever seen anybody really run is the race bullets.
Yeah, and I've heard them with tailpipes actually, or on out into like turn downs. I'd say the race bullets honestly, but if I had to give you a couple of other ones that I do like, the Mac Pro Dumps sound awesome. The Mac Pro Chamber sounds really good on these cars. So there's a lot of stuff out there. I typically don't like MagnaFlow and stuff like that on them though. I like those better on a mod motor. Well, alright guys, I think that's about it. It's been a very, very, very long video, so I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut out. So if some of your questions get cut out, I'm sorry guys. We are at 33 minutes right now. And after I trim the fat, we're probably still going to be at about 25. Alright guys, that's going to wrap everything up. And I hope this answers some of your questions that you guys had. And me and Andrew are just going to sit and chill, talk a little bit.
He's going to watch himself on TV to make himself more famous.
Watch myself on TV over here. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching.